Welcome back everyone to Heroes and Villains HQ. Today I have a really special Marvel Legends review for you today because this was actually a 2-pack that I've had sealed in the box on my shelf for quite some time now, but I've decided I'm finally going to open it up and get these figures on my shelf. That being the Professor X and Magneto 2-pack from the Fox X-Men series. So this is a really awesome 2-pack. I've had it for a little while now, and I just want to get Magneto and Professor X on my shelf, and with my other MCU figures, as the X-Men will be coming to the MCU with Doomsday. So I thought it was only fitting to finally open this up and get it reviewed. But before we take a look at this 2-pack, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below so you can stay tuned for more Star Wars and Marvel content. But let's go ahead and take a look at the two X-Men themselves, Professor X and Magneto. But before we jump into the video, I am going to be giving away the Star-Lord Marvel Legends figure at 500 subscribers. All you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel, and when we hit 500 subscribers, I'll release a giveaway video for you to comment on, and I'll pick a winner from there. But back to the video. Taking a look at this box very quickly here. This, I believe, was from the 10th anniversary or something of the sort for the X-Men series. It had a standard package, and they released a bunch of different X-Men figures from the Fox universe during this line, and it had this blue and yellow color scheme. As for this packaging, you can see the two characters on the far left, all the accessories, and Professor X's wheelchair is in the center there, as well as their names on the bottom, and then the nice X-Men logo on the corner. On the sides, you don't have a portrait of the characters, but rather a silhouette. And this is the same silhouette you see on the back, so it's very minimalistic. I think it looks really sleek, hence why I've kept it in the box so long. So, and then on the top, you have the X-Men logo again with the Marvel Legends logo. So enough about the box, let's go ahead and crack this open. All right, the Professor X and Magneto 2-pack. Man, is this a stunning one. This is just awesome for any X-Men fan. Even though the Fox X-Men movies aren't the best, I mean, they have some really highlight moments, and these two characters are among those highlights. And these figures are great representations. As for additional accessories, for Magneto, you get 3 swappable heads. So you do have both actors with the Magneto helmet, which you can see the one on there currently, and then you have both of them in their standard helmetless look. And then for Professor X, you do also have a swappable head for James McAvoy. Although, I don't know, something about this head sculpt, it just looks off. Not sure it quite captures the look of his Professor X, but it is included. And then you do get a pair of swappable hands for Magneto. And then you get 3 additional hands for Professor X. As for the figures, I'm going to start with Professor X. He does come with his wheelchair. Taking the figure off of the wheelchair to take a look at that first. This looks pretty good. Standard wheelchair design, right? There's not many in the Marvel Legends line, but gets the point across. The wheels do turn. They are on an axle here, so they turn in tandem. The wheels are a rubber, and then the rest of the wheelchair is a PVC plastic. It does separate in half, so that's how you get the wheels in. But overall, again, it's a solid design. As for Professor X himself, he's got a nice blue suit on. Honestly, it's reminiscent of the Indiana Jones Adventure Series figures, if you have any of those. The white suit Indiana Jones from the Wobani Club, or Club Obi-Wan, rather, that we see him in Temple of Doom. That's what it reminds me of. As for articulation, you do have the standard double-jointed elbows and knees with the pin legs, although for Professor X, you don't need much articulation, so this is obviously how I'm going to leave him and have him displayed, sitting in the wheelchair with, his hand up, pointing towards his his head as he's going to use his powers. So really solid Professor X figure. Now taking a look at the reason why I bought this pack is Magneto. This is obviously Magneto from Days of Future Past. And I will say I feel like the correct choice in displaying this figure is having this head mold on versus this one. I think it just looks better. The figure here sports double jointed knees and elbows, but pinless, which I really appreciate. You do also have the bicep breaks, these thigh swivels, as well as boot swivels. The cape here on the back is just one standard piece, one color. It does include a pin to go into the back there, so to make sure that it stays in place. It is a little tough, as you just saw, for you to get it down, but once you do it, it'll stay in place very nicely. But you can choose to take the pin out, of course. And then the head sculpt here with the Magneto helmet. Really great weathering. You can see it's got a little bit of red and gray throughout. So I think they nailed the look there. And then the main suit here is like, it almost feels dusty, if that makes sense. I think it looks really good. It really looks like metal. I think they did a great job there. And then the legs are just black with some different detailing throughout, but it gets the point across. Now to quickly swap heads, you can see the figure and what he looks like with this sculpt on. I think the helmet sculpt on this one is not quite as good. It's really shiny, and I think it looks off as it compares to the rest of the figure, but still a great sculpt nonetheless. Here is the helmetless look. And then one more time, here is the final head sculpt for Magneto. And I think either this one or this one are the choices you're going to go with for this figure. Coming back to Professor X, obviously, this is the one head sculpt, and then here is the other. Again, something about this, obviously, you'd like to display them in pairs, from the movies they're together with, but I don't know, something about this one, something about it looks off. I'm just not really a fan. Overall, though, this 2-pack is definitely a highlight. I'm really pleased with these figures, and I'm glad I finally decided to open this one up and get them on the shelves. Really, really happy with how these figures turned out, specifically Magneto. I think that figure is the highlight of this pack, without a doubt. So if you are interested in picking this one up, unfortunately, you'll have to go to eBay or Mercari or wherever you buy your things secondhand, as this figure 2-pack is no longer obviously in production. However, I picked mine up a couple of months ago for about $50, so it's not exploded in terms of value, so you shouldn't have a hard time finding one on the market. So what are my final thoughts on the X-Men, Professor X, and Magneto 2-pack? Really, really awesome 2-pack, one that delivers in giving you great versions of these characters from the Fox universe. Starting with Professor X, the wheelchair mold and the overall figure is really good. I will say the swappable head for the James McAvoy Professor X is not great. However, I think this is the version you're going to display anyways. As for Magneto, this character is why I bought the pack, and obviously this one is super, super cool, giving you double joints in the elbows and knees, but no pins. Overall, just the lines, the detailing throughout the body and the helmet, just really, really nice. Really, really excited about this one. And again, a really great iteration, and this 2-pack delivers. So thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this latest Marvel Legends review. And if you did, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below to support my channel. And I hope to catch you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.